On September 13th, Upper Dublin joined together to showcase the highlights of our township with interactive games and booths sponsored by local businesses.
Hello, I'm Josh Bachman.
And I'm Isabel Beta. This is UDTV.
Let's take a look at how this Cardinal event turned out with Abby and Lily.
Hi, we're with UDTV. Maddie, can you tell us your thoughts on Community Day?
I'm really excited for the dunk tank and to watch the dancers and for the block party afterwards.
Hey guys, I'm here with Susan and Taylor about Community Day. Guys, anything you want to say?
There are fireworks. I know that.
Yeah, I like the fireworks. They're nice.
They're pretty colorful.
There are fireworks?
Sure!
You know what? I kind of wish I went to that.
Yeah, looked like they had some pretty good performers.
Speaking of performers, our friend Mike highlighted the American actor, comedian, and rapper Donald Glover.
But you may know him as Childish Gambino.
No matter what you say, what you do.
Hey, welcome to the Vinyl Crate. I'm Mike, and this is a music review segment. And every week I'm going to be pulling out an album from this crate and giving my thoughts on it. And today we're going to be reviewing Because the Internet by Childish Gambino. Now, whether you know him as Donald Glover, Troy Barnes, or Childish Gambino, Glover combines comedy, acting, and musicianship for a true triple threat in the entertainment industry. Childish Gambino spawned in 2009 when Glover released his debut mixtape, I'm Just a Rapper. And after gaining initial popularity, he began to play shows where his performances have been described as reminiscent of the infamous Kanye West. His audience grew as he released more famous tapes, such as Camp and Royalty. And today we're here to review Gambino's newest album, Because the Internet. After releasing multiple singles from his sophomore album, he put the entire 19-track album online and paired it with a 72-page screenplay. The combination of memorable melodies, clever wordplay, and songs that will keep a story in your head. Gambino gained a huge following with this album, and I think it's an overall win. My first press edition of this breakthrough album goes above and beyond what people expect in a rap album. From the striking pink on the cover of the casing and the stunning musicianship and all of the best songwriting, I give Because the Internet a solid 8 out of 10 and recommend a Spotify listen to anyone who likes music.
I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect, we spend it with no shame, we blow that. Like Coltrane, we in here, like Rogaine, or leave it, like Cobain. And when I'm long gone, whole crew singing swan song, cause we all just ticking time bombs. Got a Lambo like LeBron's mom.
Now, after 5 years of updating the high school, our Cardinal nest is close to complete.
The Upper Dublin Football Stadium is the last of this unfinished project.
Let's go to Alexis and Josh to see how this final piece of the puzzle is wrapping up.
So, Mr. Wall, do you think I belong on the football team?
Absolutely.
Great answer.
Greg, do you think I belong on the football team?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think Alexis could slot in right here at right guard. I mean, I don't know who Stover's got going, but we'll see Friday night, right?
So, do you think I belong on the football team? Please be honest.
No. Too strong.
So, Kyle, if I was hit by a full-size football player, how many bones do you think I would break?
I think you break all of them because he's small.
Thanks.
So, if you could have the marching band play one song when you guys win, what would you choose?
Bobby Smurder, Hot.
You damn it!
football team is very pleased with their cushy new field.
With the start of the new NFL seasons, fans are getting pumped for this week's game.
Introducing our new Man on the Street crew, here's Albert, Mike, and JT catching up with some of UD's biggest football supporters.
As we all know, football season just started, and I'm here today to test Upper Dublin's knowledge about the NFL by asking them some trick questions. So Peyton Manning went on a Super Bowl run last year. How far do you think will take the Colts this year?
The Broncos?
The Colts.
Nowhere.
So at the Broncos-Seahawks game, Marshawn Lynch actually bit Von Miller's ear in that fight. Any comments?
That was very vicious. Remind me of the Mike Tyson fight.
We just got the rookie running back, Doug Stein. How far do you think he's going to get playing time, or?
I hope so. I do love Doug Stein. He's one of my favorites.
Johnny Manziel also just said he was set to retire in a few months. Do you think he'll make the Hall of Fame?
Sure, yeah.
So the rookie Brett Favre, how good do you think he's going to do this season?
Oh, he's going to suck.
I think the Vikings are going to win the whole thing.
The Vikings? You a Vikings fan?
Yep.
So our offensive line is really hurting. Do you think Floyd Mayweather would be a good addition as a second string?
Maybe. If you get in the weight room.
Richard Sherman, did you guys hear about that name last year? He had like a lot of media time.
I think so, yes. Probably.
Great kicker.
Yeah.
What do you think his farthest kick is going to be? 40 yards, 50 yards, 60 yards?
Let's go with 80.
80 yards. Fletcher Cox got a touchdown in the first Eagles game. Do you think he's going to get the new wide receiver job?
Maybe. The way they can't catch the ball.
Yes or no?
Yes and no.
For what question?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like students really know their stuff.
I don't know if I'd say that. Filmed over 12 years with the same cast, this film is a groundbreaking story through the eyes of a child named Mason.
Our own Lucas Piccini took a more in-depth look at Richard Linklater's Boyhood.
And that they did. Welcome to the premiere movie review. I'm your host Luke, and today we're going over possibly the best film of the decade, Boyhood. Starring Ethan Hawke, Patricia Arquette, and Lorelai Linklater, and newcomer Eller Coltrane, the film is shot over a 12-year period by the director, Richard Linklater. Gathering the cast each year from 2002 to 2014, Linklater shot the film for a couple of weeks each year with the same actors. Through this method, the actors literally grew up on screen. The film tells the story of Mason Evans Jr., played by Eller Coltrane, and the trials and tribulations he and his family face over the years. These include 2 alcoholic stepfathers, constant moving, and Mason struggles with both alcohol and drugs in his teenage years. Mason's relationship with his girlfriend Sheena and his philosophical outlook on life is detailed later in the movie. Boyhood has been critically acclaimed by multiple critics. Richard Roeper, notable Chicago film critic and former colleague of the late Roger Ebert, gave the film an A+ and called it one of his favorite films and one of the greatest films he had ever seen. The film netted a 99% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and 100 out of 100 on Metacritic. To give you a perspective, Breaking Bad got a 99 out of 100. Overall, this film may not be a blockbuster as it grossed only $29 million on a shoestring budget of $4 million. However, it is a masterpiece and a frontrunner at the Oscars this year. To give you a precaution, this film is rated R due to adult content and adult language. You have been warned.
Upper Dublin's newly formed water polo team has been gearing up for a new season.
Josh and Sam took a moment to interview the team's captain, Drew Young. Let's see how it went.
Welcome to our first edition of Inside the Nest. I'm Sam Benjamin, and I'm here with water polo captain Drew Young. So Drew, since most of us are not very familiar with water polo, what is the average score of a game?
The average score is about 8 or 9 goals, but if the teams are not playing well and like good defense, can get up into the 20s, high teens.
So you guys are treading water this whole entire time?
During the games, you can't touch the bottom. They're usually all deep pools and like diving wells. So you're treading the whole game. You can't touch the walls, and it's tiring.
So what is a typical practice like?
A typical practice starts around 5:30 in the morning. We would swim, just do laps, different sets. And then around 7 o'clock, we would go to class. And after school at 3 o'clock, we would just do tread sets for about an hour, just trying to work the legs, and then start passing and doing water polo drills.
So very, very rigorous.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely hard.
So what is the toughest part about playing water polo?
I think the toughest part is just trying to get yourself mentally in the game, because while you're trying to score goals, you're fighting with people, and you're basically just wrestling in the water. So trying to just stay up above the water and trying to breathe is pretty tough when a guy's trying to push you down.
Yeah, that sounds tough.
Yeah.
And finally, what are your expectations for this year versus last year?
Well, last year was our first year as a team, so we're just trying to grow the sport, really, trying to get kids involved, freshmen especially, just so the team can keep growing. We definitely have a much bigger roster. We have about 7 more kids than we did last year, so that's really good. But right now we're just trying to grow the team. I mean, we're definitely trying to win games, and we're doing really well. This past weekend we won 3 games, so we're doing a lot better. We're growing as a team, and we're just trying to make this program excel at its highest potential.
Well, the Bird Gang will come out to support for sure. Thank you,
All right,
Joe.
Thank you.
So like relax, I'm spilling these raps long as you feel them. To the day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them. Cause when I am not, then I'm a stop.
In other news, the world's most committed and fanatical radical organization has only recently gone by its current name, ISIS. ISIS is known for killing dozens of people at a time and carrying out public executions. It has taken over the large strip of the northern and western Iraq.
Currently, the United States has taken action by enforcing strategic airstrikes and to arm and train Syrian rebels to fight against ISIS.
When Alibaba, the Chinese e-commerce giant, made its public offering debut Friday, its shares surged more than 40% of the New York Stock Exchange. The digital commerce company that consists of consumer-to-consumer shopping generated $248 billion in online sales last year alone.
Currently, analysts are watching carefully to see how the Chinese company measured up against U.S. online retail stalwarts like Amazon.com, Overstock.com, and eBay as it looks to stake its claim with North American consumers.
And to wrap it up this year's first episode, an adorable toddler berates her mother for laughing at her during her singing performance.
Happy Spirit Day, Upper Dublin. My name is Peter, and here on my left is my co-anchor, Joseph. Say hi, Joey.
I thought you were my co-anchor.
Coming to you from the Greenfield Television Studio, this is UDTV.
Hey Pete, do you like golf?
Nope. Golf is, in fact, my least favorite sport ever.
Well, have I got a segment to change your mind? No, change your life. Did you know that our golf team made it to states?
Why would I know that? I just said that golf is my least favorite sport.
Well, let's take it over to Joe and Josh for our golf segment.
You hear the golf team is going to states?
Yeah. No.
You didn't hear the golf team's going to states?
No.
Okay, thank you.
It's nothing to get it poppin', wanna up and away, here we go. Now Martin had a dream, I've been dreaming about gold. Tell him I just wanna shine and I gotta let it show.
Totally worth it. You're not even on the screen.
Vibrate the whole building name ringing through your phone. Waiting till them to the clear, can you see me through the fog?
Yeah, this is very special. I mean, first we got the Suburbans, then we got the districts. Now we going to states. I mean, I don't know what to say.
It was a great year all around. The wood-taking match at Meadowlands was a clutch victory, but I have to say winning districts, first Upper Dublin golf team to ever win the District 1 tournament, highlight of my golfing life.
you a little, they just
Probably having to deal with Mike and Jack because they suck.
Mike, what do you have to say about that?
I think David, we should put the camera on David for a few holes, I think, otherwise.
Boy, oh boy, do I love golf.
Of course you do, Peter. Everyone knows that. Hey, do you mind if I ask you a personal question?
Sure, it's fine. Go right ahead.
Would you get down and dirty on the dance floor if your grandma was watching?
Are you crazy, Joe? Are you crazy? Of course not.
Well, did you know that some of our students would say otherwise?
Well, I think that our grinding expert, Sam Feldstein, could really set them straight.
Whoa. What's going on here? Upper Dublin Ordinance 992 mandates a mandatory 16 inches between you two. Good thing I brought my trusty measuring tape.
Keep it short and sweet. Dance like your great-grandmother is watching.
Hey, we didn't injure anybody during this, did we?
Of course not. It's like I always say, safety first.
Did you just wink at me?
No? What are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure that you just
Anyway, let's move on to our next segment. Here's Luke with a review of the Ambler Theater.
Welcome to the Ambler Theater, located on 108 East Butler Avenue. As you can see, the Ambler Theater has been around for a very long time, in fact, since 1888. The Ambler Theater has a very long history, as you can see, and it has the aesthetic appeal of an old theater, yet the conveniences of a modern theater. It is truly a hidden gem located within our community. This right here is the main attraction of the Ambler Theater, Theater 1. Look at this magnificent architecture, the balconies, the amazing alignment of the seats behind me, and the fantastic woodwork above me on the ceiling. Standing here with Associate Programming Coordinator John Dumoff. So John, what makes the Ambler Theater distinct from other Regals?
Since this is a community-owned theater, we want to make people feel comfortable. It's not just the film, it's everything before the film, make people feel like this is kind of like their community theater.
Well said. So John, as Associate Programming Coordinator, what exactly do you do here at the Ambler Theater?
My responsibility is to help with bringing some extra programming, so I help with facilitating that.
Alright, nice. And finally, what kind of movies do you show here at the Ambler Theater?
Generally, we show independent films, and we show classic films from 1930 to 1970s, 1980s.
Alright, thank you for your time.
Absolutely,
Have
thank
a good
you.
day.
Take care.
Do you still go to see movies in the theater?
I don't. I'm more of a stay-at-home and pirate type of guy.
Speaking of pirates, did you know that longboards are considered pirates of the streets?
I don't think anyone knew that, because you just made that up.
You know what I didn't make up? That we have a longboarding segment.
You know, I've been skating for a couple of years, since I was about 2 years old, I'd say. It's really a freeing and emotional experience. It allows me to connect with my body and my soul. You know what I'm saying? It also allows me to get from place to place in a hurry. Whoa! I gotta go. I'll be right back.
Oh my god, Joey, the The producers in the booth are telling me that right now we have found Joselle.
Who's that?
Just watch.
Well, UD, it's that time of year again. The temperature is dropping, the leaves are falling, and the pumpkin spice latte is making its return. So we stopped by the Dressertown Starbucks to sample some of their best coffee, and maybe catch up with a UDTV alum.
Hey! What's up, UD? What's poppin'? Y'all chillin'? Alright, cool. Don't mind my smock right now. You know I'm already working and everything. But how y'all been? I missed y'all. I'm trying to come back and film for y'all and all that. Shout out to my North Hills crew though. You already know I gotta give y'all shout outs.
We fell in love as the leaves turn brown, and we could be together, baby, as long as skies are blue. You act so innocent now, but you lied so soon.
Well, that's been our show. I hope you all had a great time watching.
Actually, Joey, there's still one more segment left.
Peter, what are you talking about? You never told me about this.
Yeah, no, it's in the script, Joey.
Are you just trying to make me look bad? I mean, we didn't.
You wrote it yourself.
We were at the local park playing basketball, and we saw Clyde start playing too. We started playing with him and then doing trick shots with him. This is called Clyde Perfect.
Bullseye.
I'm Albert, and this is the boomstick.
Welcome to UDTV News. I'm Joe Kim.
And I'm Luke Bacchini. Nice shirt.
Thanks.
This week we'll be talking with two UD students that just won the WHYY Film Festival, Mrs. Saxon about getting into college, and hopefully getting an idea of the plan for the newly renovated courtyard.
Many of you seniors are beginning to submit your college applications, and today we have Sam, Andrew, and Josh delving deep into the admissions process with our guidance counselor, Mrs. Saxon.
Fall is here, hear the yell, back to school, ring the bell, brand new shoes, walking blues, climb the fence, books and
So,
pens.
Ms. Saxon, what do you think the 5 most important things students should know about the college planning process are?
Great question, Andrew. I would say, the first thing, it starts in as early as 10th and 11th grade. The college planning process can be daunting, can be a little overwhelming for students. And, the earlier you start the process, I think the easier it is. So I would say then the second thing is really getting your testing in order. So figuring out a schedule for a timeline of when you're going to be taking your SAT or ACT tests. Every college accepts both equally, so it's really important for each individual student to figure out how they're going to do best on which test. The third thing I would say is visits. Nothing is more important in my mind than a visit to a college. I think it's one of the most important pieces of the whole planning process, and I encourage as early as 10th and 11th grade students to be going on visits and going to see those colleges. Preparing the application, so gathering gathering information as to what's going to go into the application, and then sending your scores. And also a big piece is making sure that you're handing in your transcript request form. I would say the fourth and fifth step in the whole process kind of go hand in hand, and it usually starts towards the end of junior year into senior year. So we're talking about preparing to apply.
Thank you so much for discussing the college planning process.
No problem.
All right, I'm here with Sam Ecker. What advice do you have for lowerclassmen trying to get into college?
Definitely try get a good effort freshman year, because that's the base. You know, you gotta have a nice foundation to build a good house. And just think every day, where do I want to be in 4 years when I graduate?
That's some great advice, Sam. What colleges are you applying to?
You just have to dress for success. Make sure you get your college applications in, check out the college campus.
Hopefully that provided you with some good insight.
I sure hope you freshmen were listening. Hey Luke, would you rather live long or die young?
Die young.
I'm sure Mrs. Clapp would disagree.
Welcome to the first episode of Living Longer with Miss Clapp. We ask the age-old question of whether you want to
live longer
or die younger.
Today I'm going to demonstrate how to make the power-packed afternoon snack kale chips.
And I'm going to make the sodium nitrate and saturated fat-filled chocolate-covered bacon.
You can make kale chips after school today by washing some fresh kale, stripping it from the stem, cutting it into pieces, drizzling it with some olive oil, adding a little salt, just a touch, give them a toss, and into the oven.
The best way to make melted chocolate is put it in the microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds, take it out and stir. If needed, add more time.
Poppin'.
The dipping.
And then you're going to put him in pumpkin. Are you going to live longer
or die sooner? I think I want to live longer.
Do it again.
No, do it again.
You want to do it again? No, it's you just.
Best way to make milk chocolate. Alright, just let it play, let it play. Ow, 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 ow.
Kale chips. I guess living longer could be cool too.
Live longer by eating well and not drowning. Let's take a closer look at Coach Stover's popular lifeguarding class.
So what's the most physical challenging part of lifeguarding?
Probably doing the passive victim rescues, because if they're really heavy, it can be hard to get them over to the side.
So would you recommend this class to underclassmen that may take an option for phys ed next year?
Most definitely. It's a great course and you learn a lot.
So what's a similarity between lifeguarding and physical education?
You still have to do fitness testing, so your push-ups, your sit-ups, running the mile.
Yeah, and definitely the sit and reach. Oh yeah.
So tell me a little bit about lifeguarding in general.
Lifeguarding is an elective. It's an option, additional for a sophomore. It would be in addition to your 10th grade physical education experience. With a junior and a senior, you have an option to take it by itself, or you can also take that with a typical 11th and 12th grade physical education course. So it's open for really 10 through 12 students, and we offer the idea that you can get your lifeguarding certification, which includes your first aid and your CPR certifications.
How many kids typically enroll in your class during a year?
Last year we had one course and there was 14 students that were enrolled. This year we're up to 2 classes and we currently have 24 students enrolled in the lifeguarding course here at the high school.
So how many usually would take advantage of their certification and seek employment in the lifeguarding field?
It's approximately 50 to 60%. We have the high school here, which offers lifeguarding jobs. The YMCA is another place where students have been placed. And then our local swim clubs and camps have also employed some of our students through the years.
Seems like a very, very interesting course.
Have you noticed the newly landscaped courtyards, Luke?
You know, I have, and I'm wondering, when are we even going to get to use them?
I'm here with Mr. Thompson, the assistant principal, and I'm going to ask him a few questions about the courtyard in the cafeteria area.
We certainly discussed opening up to the courtyard during lunches as something that would be great. The courtyards are already being used by our child development classes as well. We think there probably are some opportunities for even some instruction to go on out there, but I'd say all those things you're hearing have at least been discussed, and plans are underway to put some of those things in place.
There's a cardinal mosaic out in the courtyard, and we were wondering if you know anything about that, because it has all of Upper Dublin, riddled.
It's a great question. The cardinal mosaic was created and donated by the parent of a recent graduate, someone from the community. That is a fairly recent addition to the courtyard for aesthetic purposes, and I think your question speaks to the fact that perhaps we want to better publicize and give it due diligence, the reasons why it's there and where it came from.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome.
And your answers.
Sure thing.
I sure wish we could eat lunch outside.
Yo, it's like 40 degrees out.
Next up, we have the recent winners from the WHYY Film Festival being interviewed by Luke and UDTV's finest, Ben Kaplan.
The WHYY Film Festival is a collection of over 150 films that were submitted, and Upper Dublin was talented enough to take home 2 of the 15 finalist honors. One of these winners from Upper Dublin was a video entitled My Rebirth Creatively.
Welcome to my world of pain and struggle, where everyone around me hold their breath and start to mumble. I just feel this sharp pain and my stomach starts to rumble, but I keep calm, hold back, and I remain humble. I take it with a grain of rice when I hear that I love you, cause people really love you when you floating in that bubble. When you got it, your homie, problems never confront you. It's sad you gotta watch the ones that say they really love you.
The creators of this sensational music video are James Traley and Justin Richmond, better known as Vision, and we're going to sit down and interview them today.
Yeah, so basically the message I'm trying to convey in my in the song in particular is just where I came from and the struggles going through it.
Well, at the end of last year at the Greenfield Youth Film Festival, Justin actually approached me and asked if I wanted to work on a music video with him, and I thought immediately that was a great idea.
What was it like working on a video with James? It was fun, motivating, and quick. It was really organized, and everything was real smooth. We got it done.
Well, with the studio here, we were lucky enough to get access to a lot of equipment, and one of the things that we used the most was actually a sliding track dolly.
The next mixtape for me will be dropping literally at around the end of the school year, and it'll be called Graduation.
My style of film is predominantly animations and documentaries, so music videos were kind of out of my spectrum, but I thought, why not? Let's go for it. So I thought it was a lot of fun.
Never gonna bye-bye, I can't wait till I'm being pulled up in the sky. There's things I wanna do before I die. Those things are changing, saving his lives.
Have you heard that Penn State's Thon is coming here at our very own Upper Dublin High School?
What's Thon?
I'll let Erica and Julia explain.
Hey Upper Dublin! Join us on November 21st for our first annual Thon. Staff and students, we're so excited for you guys to come out. Games, races, music, the line dance, it's going to be great. We're so excited to raise money for pediatric cancer. Please come out and join us 5:30 to 10:30.
Every day, 42 children are diagnosed with cancer. Those children are not the only people affected.
Everyone is somehow affected by this deadly disease. Penn State set out on a mission to conquer pediatric cancer many years ago.
Since 1977, over $144 million have been raised to benefit the Four Diamonds Fund at the Hershey Medical Center, an organization that provides medical and financial aid to those in need and also provides money for cancer research.
Sun goes down. you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain, but until my moment comes, I'll say I did it all.
Hey, Upper Dublin Cards, help us make history and support Four Diamonds Fund on Friday, November 21st from 5:30 to 10:30. Hope to see you there.
All right, I'm in.
Absolutely.
Halloween may be over, but Dracula's still in the house.
I'm here with sophomore Sam Tracton, starring in the play Dracula. Now, when is the play actually showing?
The play is showing November 12th through November 15th.
And what role do you have in the play?
Well, you said starring, so I'm the title character Dracula.
Can you give us a line?
I never drink wine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thomas, how could I leave such enchanting company? 2 exotic continentals in one evening?
Right?
We're all dead! We're all dead!
Dracula. Anyone who's traveled Eastern Europe knows that name.
I'm welcome.
Yes, do come in, Count. Good evening. Was not one of your ancestors the infamous Vlad the Impaler? Au revoir.
That's another great event that I'll have to check out.
Well, it looks like that's all we have for today. I'm Joe.
And I'm Luke.
We'll catch you next time on UDTV.
Coming to you from the Greenfield Television Studio, this is UDTV.
Good morning, Upper Dublin. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Erica.
Today's episode will focus on our teachers here at UD.
We wouldn't be here without them.
I'd be okay with that.
The teachers have really gone above and beyond to come up with interesting topics for enhancements over the past few years. My favorite was cupcake decorating with Mrs. Lamoli.
Today, Miss Jones and Miss Locke will offer one demonstrating how to make your own soap.
I'm here with Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Locke, interviewing them about their new enhancement. So, Mrs. Jones, what is this enhancement all about?
Well, it's called DIY Natural, so it's a do-it-yourself naturally enhancement where we teach you to make your own homemade products without having to go to the store and buy them.
Sounds good. And how is this beneficial, Mrs. Locke?
Well, it really helps students see the advantages to making things naturally, both health advantages, environmental benefits, and financial benefits, because we really do an analysis of using MSDS sheets for health concerns. We look at the EPA website for environmental concerns, and we actually make them do some math and do calculations for how much it's saving them.
And is there any disadvantages?
A few disadvantages that I could see is it does take a little bit of time to make these products. It's not as convenient. You also have to put a little bit more effort in making them and doing some research and experimenting with what recipes actually work for you.
And finally, is this going to be a recurring enhancement or just a one-time thing?
Well, this semester is pretty exciting because we're doing 3 in a row, and we're hoping to do this again in the spring. And our theme for this semester is homemade beauty products, and in the spring we're actually going to ask the students to suggest what we might do for our theme.
All right, sounds good. Be sure to sign up.
In episode 2, Clyde made some crazy trick shots in Clyde Perfect.
Let's see if Mr. Caps can show him how it's done with a frisbee.
Next week is Thanksgiving. I love all the food, but I'm really thankful for my family.
Aw, and I'm so thankful to have such a great co-anchor.
Let's see what our teachers are thankful for.
So what are you thankful for?
I am thankful for, not in any order, my dog, my fiance, this great country, baseball.
I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful that I have a family that's healthy, that I have 4 wonderful grandchildren, and everybody's working, and it's a decent life. As long as you have your health, you have everything. I don't care how much money you have or how much whatever, you'll give it all in for your health. So I'm thankful for that first and foremost.
Oh, I'm so thankful for my children. I have 3 children, grown children, and they're coming home for Thanksgiving, and I'm really happy about that. And I'm also thankful for my students. I have great classes this year, and they make my life. They just make me happy.
I think other than friends and family and, a roof over your head and food on the table, I'm really thankful for laughter and always an opportunity to, I suck.
Here, I got it. Ready? All right, you be me, and I'll be you. Okay, let's start it off. So, Mrs. Calvin, what are you thankful for? I'm thankful for my friends and my family and laughter. And laughter and my children, of course. This wonderful class I have, and most importantly, my husband, Alan, and also Bradley Cooper because he's so cute.
I think it's easier to say what I'm not thankful for. I'm not thankful for death and disease and destruction, or as I call them, the 3 Ds. I am thankful for my great class who's now playing a video in my absence. And I'm thankful for my Upper Dublin family. Beware the 3 Ds.
That's our show for this week. Thank you to all the Upper Dublin teachers. See you next time, and Happy Thanksgiving.